Before I get into the review of the Step Ranger, I did want to just share just a little bit of my process on how I chose the Step Ranger over other machines. There were really 5 machines I was looking at and ended up coming down to a decision between the Step Ranger and a UTV. And that the biggest factor for me was I really wanted to be able to ride on something that went at least 10 miles per hour. And when price was factored in, that kind of sealed the deal to help me determine the Step Ranger was the right choice for me. But here's just a list of the 5 machines I was looking at and the attributes that went into my decision making of which one I was going to choose. This is my full review of the Step Ranger All-Terrain. The link to my unboxing video can be found in the description below. A little bit about me and why I chose to buy a Step Ranger. I'm at that age where I still want to maintain my property myself, but I can't push my body nearly as hard as I used to. After going through a neck surgery, I became a little more serious about taking care of my health. The Step Ranger has become one of those solutions. I don't have a huge lot to take care of, but there are plenty of trees, shrubs, and grass to keep me busy. My goal with this video is to summarize my experience after about 10 hours of driving. I want to highlight the features and demonstrate how I've been utilizing the machine thus far. If you're like me, you are at a minimum intrigued by this vehicle. I hope this review helps answer any of your questions, and feel free to comment below if you have any further questions. I will admit, the first 10 minutes of driving I was a little shaky. There's a little bit of a learning curve between twisting the throttle, managing the brake, and estimating turns, but after some practice I felt comfortable to drive a bit faster and make smoother turns. Right off the bat, I appreciated the forward and reverse toggle easily accessible on the throttle hand. Another major selling point for me was the width of the machine. The widest measurement is just under 33 inches. All of my gates are 3 feet wide, so I didn't have to modify any of my fences or gates. The closest comparison I can think of is driving a 4-wheeler or an ATV. While driving straight, the steering is very responsive and the ride is smooth and easily controlled. A wide turn approach is required for turning around or making sharp turns. Behind the front wheels, there are adjustable bolts that allow you to adjust the turning radius. This was easy to access, and I have tuned my steering to the max to allow for the tightest possible cornering, as my property has some tight areas. The rear disc brakes are very responsive and quiet. I haven't had any situations where I don't trust the brakes. I particularly like the parking brake feature, which also disables the throttle. This has been helpful when opening gates, collecting tools, or loading the bed. The rear differential provides a balanced ride and especially helps when navigating uneven terrain. Overall, I've really enjoyed the driving experience. I have an area on the side of my house that slopes, and the suspension can be seen at work and allows for the machine to travel smoothly through the slope. I've been very happy with the amount of power the Step Ranger maintains with a heavy load. I haven't loaded it with the full 1,000 pounds, but I have had 500 to 600 pounds of wood in the bed, and it was still able to make turns and climb inclines in low gear. The low gear setting definitely increases torque, and I've been able to get up all the inclines that I need to. The spring suspension can be a little noisy on rough terrain, but the benefit of being able to navigate more smoothly with a heavy load outweighs this small issue. The LED light functions as expected. I like that you can drive with or without the light beam. I rarely drive at night, but it does come in handy if you have to go through narrow areas when it's dark, and was very helpful in setting up some New Year's fireworks. I am most excited to use the Step Ranger for mulch. I have a significant amount of landscape beds all around my property, and over the years I have played the wait for sales game for bag mulch. With the Step Ranger, I'll be able to get a mulch load and transfer from the truck bed right to the Step Ranger bed. Fall cleanup was much faster than usual, and not having to pull tarps and carry bags of leaves was a huge relief. In the past, it would take me several weekends to complete my fall cleanup. The Step Ranger will definitely give me back a lot of time during mulch and fall cleanup times. Do I wish it had a dump feature? It would be nice, but I'm sure that would increase the price considerably, and for my purposes, I get along just fine without it. An accessory that I could see being very interesting is a snowplow. I have lived in places that get a lot of snow, and a plow on the Step Ranger would be the talk of the neighborhood. So, we're back to the question of should you buy a Step Ranger? For me, the answer is a resounding yes. There were no surprises, and the machine fits my needs perfectly. This machine is going to allow me to continue to care for my property, and it adds a fun element to the job. Are there a few things I wish it had? Sure. As mentioned before, there is no dump feature. At times it would be nice to have four-wheel drive. There are moments when I wish there was a basket where I could put small tools. And finally, a thumb throttle might be a little bit better than the twist throttle. But all these niceties would greatly increase the price. And for me, would only increase the experience slightly. Overall, I am really happy with my purchase, and I would do it all over again. I'm hoping that the popularity of this machine continues to grow and additional accessories become available. After spending quite a bit of time on rough trails, I do think the larger tires would be a good addition. And then as a dreamer, a detachable mower deck would be worth every penny. I hope this review has helped you make a decision, and if you choose so, welcome to the Step Ranger community.